Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, we bring you a powerful historical reality that continues to echo across centuries. This is the story of a young prince who became a conqueror who became a legend, and a legend who many came to worship as a god. His name was Alexander, known today as Alexander the Great, but he was not born a god nor a warrior. He was a boy, shaped by destiny, ambition, discipline, and a burning fire that refused to die. And in just 32 short years of life, he changed the entire map of the known world forever. Born in 356 BC in the ancient kingdom of Macedon, Alexander was the son of King Philip Roman II, a brilliant military commander, and Queen Olympias, a deeply spiritual woman who believed her son was destined for greatness. Stories claimed that on the night Alexander was born, the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, burned to the ground. To some, it was a coincidence. To others, it was the arrival of a child whose life would shake the world. Alexander did not grow up as a sheltered prince. From a young age, he was trained in archery, horsemanship, wrestling, and the dangerous politics of power. But his most influential teacher was not a soldier. It was the greatest philosopher of the ancient world, Aristotle. Under Aristotle, Alexander learned science, geography, logic, and most importantly, the idea that some men were born to rule. He learned that the world was unfinished, and that someone could finish it. But destiny truly revealed itself when Alexander was just a boy. At 12, he tamed a wild horse that no warrior or trainer could control. The horse was named Bucephalus, and it would carry Alexander across thousands of miles of conquest. When the crowd cheered, his father, King Philip, declared, "My son, seek a kingdom greater than Macedon, for Macedon is too small for you." Those words were not flattery, they were prophecy. When King Philip was assassinated, Alexander, just 20 years old, took the throne. Many expected the kingdom to collapse, but instead, something entirely different happened. The young king rose like a storm. He united his armies, crushed rebellions, and prepared to do something no man had ever done before: conquer the Persian Empire, a massive superpower stretching from Greece to India. And so, Alexander marched. He crossed mountains, deserts, and frozen rivers. His army was smaller but disciplined. His strategies were revolutionary. In the Battle of the Granicus, the Battle of Issus, and most famously, the Battle of Gaugamela, Alexander faced overwhelming numbers. Yet every time he emerged victorious. His tactics are still studied in military academies today. He moved faster than any army leaders had ever imagined possible. He struck where the enemy least expected, and he always led from the front, shield in hand, sword raised. To his soldiers he was not just a king, he was a warrior among them. To the nations he conquered, he was a storm that could not be stopped. When Alexander entered Egypt, he was not seen as a conqueror, but as a liberator. The priests of Egypt declared him the son of Ammon, aligning him with Zeus. In the eyes of many, he was no longer just a man, he was divine. His legend was spreading, but so was his ambition. He marched further than any Greek had ever gone. Into Babylon, into Persia, into the heart of Asia. Cities fell, kings bowed, empires crumbled. His army crossed the Hindu Kush Mountains, a brutal ice-covered range where many believed no army could survive. And yet he did, but the deeper he went, the more he changed. He adopted Persian clothing. He demanded divine honors. He saw himself not just as a king, but as a figure touched by the gods. Some followed him with devotion. Others began to fear him. The journey took its toll. Battles became endless. Soldiers longed for home. Alexander's closest friends died beside him. And then, after reaching the edge of India, his army finally refused to march further. For the first time in his life, Alexander had to turn back. Years of exhaustion, wounds, loss, and unrelenting ambition weakened him, and in Babylon, at just 32 years old, Alexander fell ill. Whether from disease, poison, or exhaustion, no one knows. But as his generals asked him who should succeed him, he answered only, and mysteriously, to the strongest. And with that, the greatest conqueror in history was gone. But here is the undeniable truth: Alexander changed everything. His empire spread Greek language, knowledge, science, and philosophy across 3 continents. He reshaped cultures, borders, and belief systems. His name was whispered as one who walked with gods. Cities across the world still bear his name today, most famously Alexandria in Egypt. We remember Alexander not because he conquered, but because he dared to imagine the world could be united, a world beyond borders, a world under one vision, whether hero, tyrant, or god. His legacy did not end with his death. It lives on in history, in civilizations, in philosophy, and in the idea that a single human being can shape the fate of the entire world, and that is why history will forever call him Alexander the Great.